that GPU deep learning is this new computing model, and the GPU is the perfect and the ideal processor for it. Now, deep learning is a new computing model, and it's going to touch all aspects of software. Deep learning starts with, of course, developing and designing the network and training the network. We call that training. However, once the network is trained, and that training of the network requires billions of trillions of operations. You're taking a network that is already very, very large and computationally very complex. You have millions and millions and millions of samples of data that you would like to train this network with. And so that could take a very, very long time. Without a GPU, it could take months. With a GPU, it would take days. That's one of the reasons why the GPU allows you to either create much more sophisticated models that are more accurate, or it allows you to get to market as soon as possible. Training is the foundational part of deep learning. Once you have that network, then of course you want to apply that network to infer, to predict, to classify from a query. Okay, to infer from a piece of information. To infer from a piece of information could come from the queries of all of our access of the internet. Billions of people making tens of billions of queries around the world every day. And these could be images, it could be text, it could be voice, and in the future, and increasingly, it could be live video. GPU inference in a data center needs to be very fast so that the experience is responsive, and it needs to be very fast so that the throughput of the data center is as high as possible. Data center inferencing, the second part of deep learning. So the first part is training. The second part is inferencing in a data center. The third part of deep learning is what some people might call IoTs, intelligent devices. These networks that have been trained can now be embedded inside devices. It could be a camera, it could be a car, it could be a robot, it could be a microphone. And it turns that device, that connected device, into an intelligent device. IoT is fundamentally going to be driven by artificial intelligence, and IoT is fundamentally going to be powered by deep neural nets. We're going to see billions and billions of intelligent devices, and the fundamental goal here is to be able to recognize, classify, interact with commands in the environment, do it very quickly, do it very accurately, and do it with as little power as possible. These three segments of computing are all going to be shaped by deep learning in the coming years. Software development is going to be different than it used to be. The way that we run software will be different, and the type of operations that we run in the devices that are around the world will also be different. Deep learning is going to touch every aspect of computing.